Today on First Issue Club, we cover baskets full of heads. Nope. Head full of baskets? Nope.
Basket full of heads.
You got it right.
Basket full of heads. Today on First Issue Club, we cover basket full of heads and Joker. Killer smile. Welcome back to another issue of First Issue Club, the weekly podcast where we rate, review, submit, eat, dissect, and talk about first issues. 2 of those are correct, the rest were joke make-em-ups, but I think you know which ones were. I am Greg Lichtai, one of your hosts. With me, as always, are Mike D, Caitlin, and Budget King.
Hi.
Hey.
The most unenthusiastic opening we've ever had.
It's snowing. We're sleepy.
It's the first snow of the season, and as you can tell, none of us are really happy about it.
It's really giving me a limp dick.
I've never heard that expression when it comes to feelings about the weather.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we all know that Budget King's erections are tied to the conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the weather outside.
Yeah, when it's sunny outside, I'm rock hard.
That's how you know. When you rock hard, oh, it must be sunny.
It's not a nightstick.
No, for those of you who have read the comics, that's a reference to one of them.
Mm-hmm.
My penis is so inverted today.
Ooh, because of the snow?
Yeah, it's because of on account of the snow.
Well, before we get to any of the books, do we have any hot comic book news that you guys want to talk about? I know HBO just talked about some new stuff coming out that a lot of people are excited for. We got a new Green Lantern TV show and a new Strange Adventure.
Oh, is Lock and Key also?
That's Netflix.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So HBO has a thing with DC then.
I assume, because they also said that all of the CW shows will be available on this HBO Max.
Really?
Really?
App. Mhm.
They got The Watchmen, obviously.
Yep.
So HBO Max is an app.
Much like Netflix and Disney Plus.
What happens to HBO Go? Is that gone now? Or is this a separate thing?
So it's a separate thing. I think HBO Go is for like... Well, you know what? I actually don't know.
Now
So
the cable companies are having like their own subsidiaries, which is kind of out of control.
Didn't CW have Freeform, or was that for something else?
The Seed.
No,
CW had The Seed.
They also did Freeform.
Yeah, they
with
did do
Hulu.
Freeform.
I thought that was ABC Family that had Freeform.
Oh, maybe you're right. Well, was Pretty Little Liars on ABC Family?
No.
Okay, I thought it was on CW. Was it on ABC?
It probably jumped around.
It might have.
You're
right.
Anywho,
ABC Family
Monstrous
is
is also announced on HBO Max.
Yes. Yeah, so a lot of cool comic book stuff's coming
That's
out.
right. I'm just really I'm really nervous about how they're going to do Monstrous.
It's going to have to be animated.
Has anyone checked that on eBay lately?
It's still sitting around 40 bucks.
20. Or yeah, maybe.
Is that
Number
right?
1 is.
I think I have a couple copies of that.
Sweet Tooth, is that also?
Sweet Tooth. Oh, man.
Robert Downey Jr.'s production company finished filming the pilot,
What?
apparently.
Of Sweet Tooth?
Yeah.
That Jeff Lemire book.
Yeah, we covered that, didn't we?
No,
that,
we've
that book-
talked
before-
about
That
it.
book's mad old.
It was before our time.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very good, though. So if you haven't read Sweet Tooth, go out and read that. But
DMZ.
DMZ, that's right. That just got announced.
That's crazy. That HBO is that's great stuff. That's honestly more interesting to me in some ways than Disney Plus. I know that's heinous.
You're an insane person.
Okay.
You're an insane person.
I think Disney Plus is cool, but all of those shows sound like stuff that is gonna be fire.
That is no, because so Kevin Feige is in charge of all that, and he already has a solid track record. DC has fucking fumbled everything. I want them to succeed so badly.
You ever see a little movie called The Joker?
No, I haven't.
People are going crazy about it.
Good for them.
You ever seen a television show called The Watchmen?
I haven't yet.
People like it.
I've heard it's so good.
2 out of how many?
Just the recent trend. Those are the newest things, and they've been doing good.
Doesn't matter to me. I feel like you're just...
I also think HBO does things right. I can't name a single bad HBO show I've ever seen.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right.
The last season. The last season was
Get
garbage.
the fuck out of here.
The last season of Game of Thrones was not good.
It was great. Your eyes were seeing magic every single time. Cinema magic.
They were seeing it. They weren't hearing it.
Your eyes don't hear, so.
Look, it was a way to end a show.
There we go.
That's my take.
It was good. People, I thought it was good. I was fine with it.
That's true. But you also like the end of Lost, too.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
not
hated the
not an
end of Lost.
HBO show. That's ABC. Not ABC. Not as good a track record as HBO.
Right. So, anyway, along with his HBO Go stuff, Adult Swim and every Studio Ghibli movie is going to be on there.
Oh,
And they have like this...
What a weird little cluster.
they got a streaming service, Adult Swim. It was gonna show it randomly.
It's going to be... No, it's like all the Adult Swim stuff's going to be on HBO Go Max. Or HBO Max.
and so is Studio.
streaming.
And so Studio Ghibli.
Got it.
And they signed this contract with like Crunchyroll, which is like where you go to
Yeah.
watch anime and stuff.
I'm familiar. That's
Like-
awesome.
So that's all in one area.
Whoa, HBO's slinging fire. They're going hard at Disney Plus.
They're trying to.
I'm Team HBO now.
Okay. I'm Team Disney Plus.
Okay, I'll see you in the ring.
Okay.
Me and Shaq are gonna.
What a lucky thing that we can spend our money in both places.
That's a good point, actually.
We should just share passwords and then
Yeah.
You probably should.
That's perfect.
be
Yeah.
friends.
You guys got an HBO right now?
No, but I've already paid for Disney Plus.
I'll share my HBO password
They
with you.
put a TV in my new office, and so I'm hoping that I can somehow rig that up
You
to
guys
where
have to watch The Righteous Gemstones.
I want to.
It looks really
We
good.
started it, right?
Yeah, we did.
It's
How did we
started.
get HBO? We have it somehow.
Your parents put it on our TV.
The only thing
Good
better
old parents.
than Righteous Gemstones is Vice Principals.
I have also watched that. Well, the guy it's the same.
They're kind of the
people.
same.
Yeah,
It's like the new Christopher Guest ensemble.
sure. Yeah. Danny McBride moved to Alabama with that like crew to make Vice Principals. Then they remade Halloween. Then they made Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
And it's like all the same people.
So it's kind of like what Adam Sandler's doing with all of his friends.
Yeah, exactly. Only funny. Except for
So
that.
like
did
Christopher
you see
Guest,
Jack
which I
and
didn't
Jill?
get a lot of like for the first time I said
the new
it.
Adam Sandler movie though looks insane.
Which one?
It's some like movie where he like bets and shit, and like it's an action movie. It's not a comedy.
Yeah, it's like an A24 film,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Everything they do is weird.
Celtics. Like he bets on the Celtics. I guess.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett is in the movie.
Is
The
that-
actual Kevin Garnett.
The real life Kevin Garnett.
Yes.
Wow.
They didn't get Shaq in a wig.
You get a more famous NBA star to play a less famous one.
I don't know how Kevin Garnett will feel about that statement, but
Well, he should know how to feel. These are facts. I'm
Any
spitting.
other comic news?
I just want to say that I was just eBaying Monstrous to see how much the first issue was selling for. And this is another thing where there's like a second print cover and a third print cover
Second print's more than the
that
first.
people are selling for more than the first print. And I just don't understand that phenomenon, but we're in the golden age of the second print right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you see second prints at your comic shop, who knows? They might end up being worth a fucking ton.
I avoid them like the plague. I don't like them.
I hate them.
Yeah, I like them. I grab them
I
occasionally.
almost never buy second prints.
We have that. Don't you have that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the second prints when they have a new cover. I'm kind of like, yeah, more.
I do. So ever since I've been collecting
Fucking
comic
creep.
books, you always shoot for the first print. And whenever I would have a second print in my collection, it always felt
It
like
is
I was late.
counterintuitive.
I was late to the party,
Yeah, exactly.
and so
Now
it made
they
my
do-
collection like less than.
Now they do smaller print runs on the second print.
Well,
But
I
that's
feel
not
like
a
they've
that's not a
always been
change in the
smaller print
culture.
runs.
That's just spec getting a hold of the comic book industry.
The second print doesn't just have like a different color lettering. It's like a whole new cover.
That doesn't mean fucking anything to me. Story's still the same. It's just a smaller print run. And somebody else who wants to make money has decided that they're going to pronounce that this is more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's selling a Miss Marvel #1 second print for $35. The Kamala Khan one.
Cool. Is anyone going to pay for that?
$33.
Oh, well.
$80. What a joke. $40. I mean, I just don't understand it. The fact that you would ever pay more for a second printing is beyond me.
I avoid them. I don't like the trend of it, of just like, it's not even a thing of just like, ooh, I really want to read this book. It's like, ooh, I really want to make money.
Did you guys have her first appearance?
Who?
Kamala Khan. It's in a random book.
Yeah.
Marvel .1.
Yeah, it's the .1.
We got 2 of them.
.1.
You have 2 of them?
Mm-hmm.
You're kidding.
Why do you have more than one?
I think
One
it's
to read and one to
happenly
keep.
bought 2 by mistake.
Oh,
And
cool.
then I didn't even know that was her first appearance. And then I found out and I was like, score.
That's awesome.
But guess what about that? The second printing's worth more.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, $75 for the second printing of it.
So dumb.
Second printings, baby, is where it's at.
When she finally gets introduced to the MCU, that book is going to be $10,000.
I think that
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure I've got a dumb variant of it that is worth nothing. And I probably was at the store with the A cover and was like, oh, this variant's cute.
That's when we still thought variants held more money.
We're idiots.
I like variants.
I like variants too, but you never know which one's going to matter. I mean, sometimes a 1 in 100 variant, like no one gives a shit about it. They want the second print of the A cover.
And they spend $5 at it at a shop.
Did you guys see the 1 in 500 variant of Silver Surfer Black?
Give me a break with
God,
that
did
shit.
it have fucking Donny Cates' hair in it?
Was
What?
it just black with nothing on it?
No, it was in the board. It like tells you. I think it has like null in it, but that's the 1 in 100. But the 1 in 500 has Galactus, so it's like, ooh, is Galactus coming? Type of thing. I don't know.
I am so over all of the ratio variants
Yeah,
and just the fucking
I don't ever buy them. You guys ever buy them?
horse and pony show that it is. What?
You ever buy the ratio variants?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, like the 1 in 25s that are like maybe $10,
Yeah.
$15. If it looks cool, I'll get it. But
If I obsess over a cover for more than a year, I'll get it. Like I just bought the Alex Ross Fantastic Four #1.
yeah, but to be fair, you got that at a fucking steal.
Yeah, I did it during a Midtown 75% off, so it was like $20-25.
Normally like 75. It
Yeah.
was nutso.
Right.
Anyway, anybody else got any more news?
Can
Can we do something before this episode goes any further?
Yeah.
Can we put that crinkly bag on the floor?
Come on.
God, this is like the worst ASMR video
Come on.
ever.
Come on.
Come on, though.
Come on, please.
If I could
come
just
on.
come on.
I think we should just roll into the show. This is
Yeah.
gonna be we're
3 out of 4 of us are on our phones.
We are
That's so true.
we are exhausted from the Halloween episode.
So riveted by the news.
We're in eBay holes.
We just got back from our retreat where we tried to save the podcast and we didn't really learn anything. And
Yeah,
we're showing you that
we just
right
got
now.
we got hoodwinked. We got
I have no
bamboozled.
idea how to make improvements.
What if we just stopped right here? It said, "Okay, see everyone next week."
We gave you news.
We talked. Yeah.
This was the evergreen. We read a Joker book, another one. It was fine. We read a Joe Hill book. It was cool. That's Stephen King's son. See you next week. Let's just go ahead and get this podcast started.
Started. Anyone in particular
Greg can kick
introducing them?
it. Kick.
Dark Captain Marvel hasn't come out yet, right?
No,
Okay.
it's in number 12. I think is her debut.
Yeah.
She's in comics.
Yeah.
We should do zines of like Dark Us.
Ooh.
Dark
yeah.
First Issue Club.
Dark
Yeah.
Fic.
Dark budget king.
Dark Fic.
Dark Budget King's like a priest or a Mormon.
Oh yeah.
That's
he definitely
Bizarro.
would be,
That's
like, white.
Bizarro
Yeah.
Budget King.
Yeah, you already feed off of chaos and calamity. Yours alter ego would be like just so clean cut and leave it to
Yeah.
Beaver.
All right. You can give it to me, Greg. I can intro this book.
First up, we have Joker Killer Smile on DC Black Label, so you know it's naughty naughty. It is by Lemire, Sorrentino, Belair. Budget King, since you are so ingrained and enthralled with the naughty naughty, tell us what this book was about.
Thanks for knowing that about me, Greg.
Well, after 121 episodes, I feel like I know you pretty well.
I would say so. Better than most. Joker, Killer Smile, is about the Joker, and man, is the Joker having a moment right now.
How many books have we read that's
So
just been
many.
about the Joker?
Joker. Probably the most hottest villain in contemporary culture, as it is.
I'm fully exhausted.
I did not want this book.
Me either.
I didn't care
No.
about it.
And there's more coming
just
out. There's more books coming
oversaturated
out.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, there's more Joker than we need. But Jeff Lemire wrote this book, which we were hot for.
So I said, let's give it a chance.
Yes, so we did it. And this book is about a, what do you know, psychiatrist trying to make Joker right.
It's
mean,
like
or just
Joker
trying to
is the
figure
bad
him
boy
out.
that every shrink in the world is the girl that wants to fix him.
Every shrink is thirsty for the Joker right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that
and
is
I
true.
don't get it. I would stay way the hell away from him.
Because he kills
as a
you
mental health
once you start
professional.
fucking with his head. So somehow, the pinnacle of this book was that somehow he incepted his psychiatrist and made him take home a book to read his child that's about a clown that kills animals. And so the psychiatrist kind of starts questioning reality and thinks he's losing his mind, all through just interviewing the Joker. It actually works really well. It's a kind of captivating read, and you yourself kind of feel like you're losing your mind as you're reading it in some ways. The way that they do the pacing and bring in the children's book, it kind of just flips to a children's book all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was weird.
So yeah, that's how this book is doing it different.
Yeah, for the most part, there were some really creepy, unsettling moments in this book that I really, really liked. But as we previously stated, the market is oversaturated with the Joker right now. His stock couldn't be lower. I mean, anyone can jump on and do a Joker book.
I would say that they should have gone with the hook that the kid's like, you gave me that book, Dad, way later. That was
Yeah.
really the only truly creepy moment in the book to me. The rest of it felt like I have seen and heard this before.
I mean, there's been 3 Joker's psychiatrist things in the last 2 months or month. I get that it's in the zeitgeist and we're thinking about all superhero things in more relevant terms to our lives now and making them stories that have to do with our culture and what's happening in the news. But, I mean, Christ almighty, can the editor at DC, say, no, we've had fucking enough of these lately?
There's a whole other book with that theme on Black Label. Number 2
Yeah.
came out for Harleen this week.
Totally.
Right.
I feel like we're just talking about Harleen here.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we are. I mean, they make a direct reference to her
I mean,
at one point.
even say,
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
even say, great idea for a book, Jeff Lemire, and it's well written, and you're a talented guy. Let's just space these out half a year.
Honestly, that's my only criticism with this book is it's too Joker mania. Otherwise, this book standalone was pretty fun and good.
Yeah, I had a good time with it. It was like an episode of Criminal Minds, but with the Joker.
And this added lunacy of you don't know how the Joker's incepting the psychiatrist.
Yeah, I think he's just getting into his head, right? I don't think he actually had a insane kids book.
Yeah.
The dad was just seeing that shit.
Yeah, because he saw the same, the guy on the toilet.
Yeah.
It was just a hallucination.
Right. Yes. Is this a one shot?
No.
I thought it was how it ended.
Seems like a one shot.
And I was
Well, and
pissed.
the size of it in the binding, that.
No, there's no way this is a one shot.
I was kind of it seemed like it kind of wrapped up and it was creepy and the Joker got the last laugh and then leave it alone because what else is this going to do?
Yeah. He's going to escape.
Yeah, is he going to escape
Yeah.
Arkham? Is he going to make this guy even crazier?
His new sidekick.
Oh, his new sidekick.
Yeah.
What could someone do with the Joker
1 and
that
3.
would surprise you right now? What do you want to see done with the Joker? I mean, anything?
Ooh.
Oh, we got one.
What if he's passing down the mantle?
New Joker.
Yeah.
Ooh, secret first appearance.
I would like
of
that.
the new Joker.
Yeah.
And then we give him a break for a minute.
Yeah.
He does something else.
I'd like it if he just ran as a politician, cleaned his act up, and was just like, I'm gonna be mayor of Gotham now.
Yeah, he like kingpinned himself.
Yeah.
Forgive my sins.
I like that. That's
Optometrist.
different. Yep. He becomes an optometrist.
Dentist.
Yes. There's
I don't know. I mean,
seafarer, fishmonger. I could see him doing a lot of things.
I just don't
or he
realize
goes mad. He goes fully mad and can't do really anything anymore.
that could be a good one. Like
Well, can that lead? Here's my request. DC,
are you listening?
are you listening? Have something like that happen. Have the Joker go fully bonkers crazy or do something different with him that makes him go away for a couple years
Yeah.
at a minimum.
Maybe that's what he does. He passes down the mantle because he's teetering on the edge, goes fully insane, kind of becomes a vegetable. We leave him alone.
You know what would be funny?
A Batman who is the Joker. A Batman who laughs.
Oh, expand on that. That is something.
He could be like metal as fuck.
There's something there. I can taste it. I taste success there. What if we just what if a writer just does it? Like they write a psychiatrist story and the psychiatrist actually fixes them.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
they actually correct what's wrong in his mind and he becomes an upstanding citizen.
And it's
I
like,
would
now
be
what?
interested in him trying to continuously write people's opinions of him as a new
Yeah.
type of person.
There's no brainwashing. There's no amnesia.
It's an
some
exhausting redemption
Some
story.
psychiatrist actually gets through to him and it clicks with him that, oh, maybe I am this terrible, wretched, broken person and I can be fixed.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not a redemption story, but it's just...
He just goes on Zoloft and he's fine.
But so then
Heavily
Part-time
medicated.
job.
Yeah.
So then the
Yeah.
character becomes like the
Moper.
the guy from the Blacklist or something, or Hannibal Lecter's character, wherein he's helping
Or Monk.
the detective
See, I really got a heavy Hannibal
solve crime,
vibe
get into the
from
mind
this
of the
too.
maniac. Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think if he gets fixed and his brain gets reworked,
Right.
he steps away from superhero, supervillain completely. He has to separate himself. He's like, this will lead me to go back into being the Joker.
But there's got to be something. If you realize what you've done, then the only thing you can do is try to redeem yourself in even the smallest way possible.
Yeah.
Right.
'cause
So
then
he
you
does
just
community
end
service. He
everything.
helps other people.
Becomes a
but-
Christian.
Sure,
But
he's born again.
No, but he's incarcerated.
They put him in witness protection program.
You don't let.
They would never
It's like a
do
Suicide
that.
Squad
They would
situation.
never do
No,
that.
they would never do that.
He's killed too many
The
people.
only reason the Suicide Squad exists is because there's a high potential that they will die. It's not because they want them to go out and do good works.
What if they put him in space?
Joker in space.
Space hero Joker.
Yeah.
Space Joker.
You know, we're like the
Jokesternaut.
Oh, I like that.
Jokestradamus.
He's a
Future
philosopher.
Old man Joker.
Has that not been a thing yet?
I don't think so,
that
but I would
blow
like that.
my mind.
I would
if
kinda
Well,
like
that hasn't
There's
been a
there's
thing.
old lady Harley.
Yeah, and he's in that.
Oh,
Is he okay?
Yeah.
okay.
So sorry to burst
Didn't we
bubbles.
read that?
We did.
Oopsie.
I think we did.
Strike it.
I'm beyond having a take on this, aside from the fact that I'm done with the Joker for now.
Me too. I mean, it's just I'm so done and kind of confused about people wanting to know what the Joker's origin is, how
cares?
he became the Joker. It's that's not the story. The story isn't what led him here. It's just him being unhinged and being a nihilist and just causing chaos. I don't give a shit what he was like in grade school or.
Were we talking about this, or it might have been my coworkers, because there was a bit of a debate there, where it was this is a standalone from the MCU,
The new movie is.
right?
Yeah.
And people were thinking why do we need people who are coming from the perspective of reading a lot of the comics are of that same mindset. We don't need this origin story that's a standalone. We've never been concerned about this before. But then people who are more kind of from the MCU and other cinematic universes, no, it's important. We want to know. We're invested.
Once Hollyweird got involved.
And maybe that's that new fandom payoff that they're looking for. But I would agree. It's one of those things that my emotional stance around it is preventing me from being able to look at this book and any of the other materials with a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what sucks about it for me is it's like, it's kind of the best way to write a supervillain, to flesh them out, to be like, don't you understand how like they just want chaos to fix things, and they want to like show it by like doing that? And it's like, yeah, I understand the methodology of a terrorist. Like I get it. It's not. That's not inventive.
But that's also not what makes the Joker an interesting character. He doesn't have appeared to have had that at all. Like he's not got this ideology that he's like, this is what will make the world a better place. He's not like kind of working his own angle. It's just literal nothing. Like kind of just whatever.
He's chaotic evil.
Pure
Right.
nihilism.
So is this just us as comic book fans who know the Joker's method for madness? It can't be explained, and that's core to the character.
I think
Like that's why this is frustrating, because they keep trying to
Explain
prove that
it away.
point by having people try to explain it.
Right. That's what makes him a super villain.
Or
But-
the frustrating thing about the origin story is to be like, oh no, we're supposed to realize that this is why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
Both of those things are not hitting the right notes.
I just think it's weird that people want to humanize him. You know what I mean? It's like,
Well,
what turned him? Like, I don't give a
okay,
fuck. I
well,
don't give a shit.
But we're
It's
not going
only
to find
weird
out.
because we're talking about the Joker, though. We talk about other villains and how we always love when people make a villain more complex. How many people gushed over Thanos?
Yeah. But
He's just not the Joker. The Joker is different.
I would love a version of the Joker that's like, I'm irredeemable. Nobody can save me, the Joker, baby. No. I'm just big. That's what I want. Give him a baby voice and I'm in. That's the one tweak that I needed for this all to come together for me.
That's why I created the kids' book. He was just trying to tell a story, but they couldn't really understand him.
What did you guys think about the kids' book in particular? Good device. It did disrupt the middle of the narrative quite a bit. That made you go like, whoa, something's happening here.
I'm not going to lie. I read it in the voice of Mr. Pumpkin Man.
oh my god.
Hell yeah. I thought it was really like a fascinating thing. Like just a very like, whoa. And even the font, I was like bothered by it and the placement of it, because it's like it's literally a kid's book stuck into a book, to a comic book. And it just like, it worked like super well. And it reminded me of like, there's a cartoon from the like early 2000s where it's like just animal critters killing each other. Like,
I felt like that kids' book thing alone was enough to validate the format of it. One of the things we always bring up with Black Label books is that, why is this Black Label? Did it do anything different or mature enough to validate being on this imprint? Was the format itself needed to tell this story? And I think those couple pages were enough to put this in a different size book. Yay? Nay?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It was a mature way to read a book. It wasn't mature content.
Right.
It was thinner than most. As far as content goes, it was like one of the thinner of the Black
it
Label
was.
books.
It was like a really
good
like
point.
yeah.
It was bigger, but it was thinner.
So when I thought it was a one shot, I was actually pretty ticked off because I was like, I paid $2 extra for basically the same thing that could be put in a regular comic book.
Yeah.
Joker, Killer Smile.
That's a funny title.
Not a great title. And by the
Killer
way,
Smile.
top
Oh, man.
10 worst covers of this year.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the cover.
Awful.
The cover was what made me think that people who were newer to,
Might like it.
yeah.
They might like
if they're walking in a shop, they're going to pick that up.
a blurred cover. We can't even tell it's Joker.
Yeah, because he's messed up. He's weird.
yeah,
he's
He's out of focus. You can't
He listens to
straighten
No
him
Doubt.
out.
Walking
Oh,
in a
come
spider
on.
web. Leave a message and I'll call you back.
I think this was a good book that had a lot working against it.
Yep. I think Jeff Lemire is a great writer. He just got handed a bum deal. DC, don't do Jeff real dirty like this. You hand him a good book, DC. He's been good to you. And
wasn't Bel Air like on this too? I feel like
Jordy
we've liked
Belair.
him too. Or isn't it a guy?
Jordy is
I think
the
it's a
first
guy.
name. I think
Yeah.
it's a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the artwork was stunning.
Yeah.
Coloring was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Jordy Belair does?
Yeah,
The
he
colorist.
does. Thank you, Joker. Thank you, Jeffrey. No, thank you, DC.
the first time anyone's ever thanked the Joker.
That's the best way
Thank
to
you,
review
Joker.
this book, in my opinion.
Yeah, DC, you done it wrong.
Thank you, creative team. No, thank you for this book existing.
Was it called Basket Full of Heads?
Yes.
Next up on the show, we have Basket Full of Heads by Joe Hill, none other than the son, the semen product of Stephen King, longtime writer, first-time listener.
He's here.
Hey, everyone, I'm Stephen King.
Stop.
And
That's pretty good, actually.
What'd you guys think of it?
You want to know what happened in it?
It's very. I don't fucking know what. Not a lot happened in it. It's
I'll tell you
basically
what,
just like a castle.
Not a lot did happen.
It's
tell
like
you
a
what.
Castle Rock episode.
I loved it, though, and I
Great
would
call.
agree with that.
But
Yes.
you know that's also Stephen King,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's
Oh.
obviously the reference. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, there's a Shawshank truck where all the prisoners.
Yeah, I
All
saw
right.
that, too.
Okay.
oh,
and-
there was?
Yeah.
This was like a Castle Rock episode.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
And I also, while I was reading this, I was like, the beginning of this is kind of vibing like the beginning of The Shining to me. And then I was like, oh, fuck, that's a Stephen King thing.
Ugh. I love Joe Hill. He
I
did he did Lock and Key's done so many like good things.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kayla.
Well, and I think just to speak to all of us kind of subtly realizing those things, like very good, not on the nose to be like, I am doing this. It's not like a clear homage. Like, it was good, I thought.
I loved it, but God damn it if this isn't the worst name ever for a comic book.
It would seem there were several points at which I
you
realized, oh, this is supposed to be tying into the title, or this is eventually going to be coming around to whatever that first panel was with these heads that are talking to each other. None of the story is about that. So you be prepared just to like
Yes.
put that away, file it away, because that's going to happen later.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see A Serious Man?
Oh, that sounds super familiar.
No, there were two that, and I saw the other one. It was like
Yeah, the movies that come out at the same time
Yes,
that are like
similarly
exactly
titled.
the same. Yeah.
yeah.
There's an intro scene in that just seems completely unrelated to the movie and like never comes back up again.
Really?
And it's like allegory for like just the vibe of the movie. and this kind of the intro to this book kind of seemed like that.
They do bring up like a lot about her and how she relates to the world and how she's trying to solve crimes and like they just poke fun at her, like seemingly out of nowhere. She's just going to dinner with her boyfriend's family. It's not his family, but they've really like taken a liking to him.
Yep.
And like all of a sudden they're like, oh, you study gender studies? Like, oh, you're going to put us all out of work? And it's like, what? I don't.
Yeah, they
we're
really
attacking
attacked her for that.
So the reason
then
why
you-
that is because you find out that she is the person that uses a mythic axe to kill 4 escaped prisoners, keep their head in a basket, and the mystic axe makes them magical, right?
Yes, but she doesn't use it all the time. She's going to come into contact with it at this house that she's having the dinner.
Yeah, so it's like we're getting the pre-story for what Basket Full of Heads is really going to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It's building up.
Yeah, there was no action in this comic.
We're talking about this book like it's bad. It's actually great.
I wasn't.
It's wonderful.
I thought I was talking about it like it was.
I wasn't either.
Same.
I loved it. It just has a convoluted start to it, which I think actually makes it kind of more artistic and fun.
So
I don't think it was, well, confusing the juxtaposition between like the-
Convoluted's not the right word.
yeah, beginning and end story. But I always like horror or suspense that lulls you in with the mundane. It's always the most effective in that manner.
This book, we didn't mention this, is set in 1983, and I think it does a really good job, even in like the coloring of it, to like set it as a really interesting period piece or like 80s
yeah,
piece.
a bygone era where a cop car can be a dune buggy.
Yes. Yeah, it was. This is like a
And
solid
being a sheriff
like,
can be a summer job. That was the one thing I was like, is that a real thing?
like
Yeah,
to just be
summer
like a
intern.
part-time
Summer
like,
intern.
Deputy.
intern. This reminded me of like a
Deputized for
Jordan
the
Peele
summer?
kind of horror movie.
A what?
Yeah.
Jordan Peele kind of like horror movie.
It felt very much like Jaws to me, which was kind of like set in that same kind of time of 70s, 80s, but it just felt like you were transported back into that era.
Yeah. Jaws kind of gets hokey near the end and just becomes an action movie.
I mean, she did say, "Is that a nightstick in your pants? Are you happy to see
That's a good point.
me?"
Yeah.
But not altogether unlike Stephen King either. Like, there are certain elements into that bring out the mundane or make you go, and relax for a minute, and that's where that can really hit you.
I get why he changed his name. Because, I mean, right out the gate, knowing who he is, we're like immediately comparing his work to like other things.
He's putting his own father's homages in his book, though. So.
Yeah, you can't write Shawshank on the back of a prisoner's thing.
Do you think this book is just one big homage?
No.
Because he's done a good job in that respect of like being referential of things and having a vibe in the story, while at the same time not making it like a complete duplication of his father's stories.
Well, we didn't mention this, but this book launches yet another sub-brand for DC called Hill House.
Yeah.
Which is going to be, I guess, all Joe Hill's horror book comic books.
I don't know if he's writing them all, but
he's only writing this one, and in terms of what he says in the thing, he's brought on different creators
to do different horror books.
Yeah, it's like the haunted house of DC is what he wanted it to be. It's where all the scary, spooky stories are going to be.
So if you're famous enough, DC just gives you a vanity publisher and just lets you do what you want to do.
If your pitch is good enough.
Well, I was going to say, maybe famous combined with good content.
Yeah, Joe Hill is quality. Like, he's good at what he does. So, did you guys ever read The Cape?
I've heard of it.
I have a couple issues of it, but I never read it.
It's fabulous.
Is it good?
It is so good, yeah. It gets into this weird history, World War II thing, which I don't really care for.
Yeah.
But before
wonder
that...
why.
Yeah. But before that, so good. Honestly, I was like, that's kind of what made me fall in love with Joe Hill. And then I read all of Lock and Key. He can write the hell out of like scary, spooky, like psycho thriller. And I think this comic book's going to have some legs. It definitely had some hype this week. So...
I mean, it did it the right way. It did a whole issue without blowing its wad and still made us intrigued enough to want to buy the second issue.
And if we're going to be following this girl around with a Viking axe and a true basket full of heads, that's just, it's a good way to set it up without already getting to like, bam, this is kind of a crazy idea and we're just going to run with it.
It's crazy enough to work.
Exactly.
And
like you've put some groundwork in that doesn't immediately just go, this is kind of strange.
And if you read this, not knowing outside context that we know as comic book people, it just reads with our lead character being the damsel in distress. She's a complete secondary character in this comic book throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I love that it kind of seamlessly worked into her ideology and her driving force in life, which is to kind of rid the world of toxic masculinity that like brings a lot of violent crime into the world because of how we teach men to deal with shame. And like, if she's going around lopping dudes' heads off that are just incurable of this and like really trying to like do some good that way. I don't know. It could be different than that.
I thought this book was going to be utter shit from the title and the cover. But, like, then once you warm up to the idea of it, this book rocked. It was fabulous.
Yeah, I really, really dug it.
So, good job, Joseph Hillemus.
I also really just liked the way the sheriff talks about his old lady, about the other people in the town, how like it's just this weird bit part. The guy from the billboards of the town like comes up to him and he's like, "My wife is freaking out and my daughters are freaking out and this and this and this and you got to do this," and he's just basically like, "Sit down, calm down, buddy."
He's
and then
like,
that's
move
it.
if you want to.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're so
Bye.
right. There's so many elements of just like expert dialogue.
Yeah,
that just really get this town right.
Yeah.
And
make
it's
you
as if
instantly
his father
connect with
was
these
like
characters.
a famous writer, and this kid was just around it his whole life. And it's like
That
second
doesn't
nature to
always
himself.
produce great writer.
Such
great
as J.J.
writemanship. That's what I
Abrams
was
and
thinking
Hank.
Of is not a word. What?
You guys are loving that book.
I liked it.
So obviously it must be good if you liked it.
I think J.J. Abrams might be writing more of it than we know. I want to know the distribution of
You want to see like a YouTube channel of them spitting
You think
ideas
it's like
to one another.
a fifth graders volcano project that their parents were like a little more invested in than they should have been?
Hey, Dad, what if Spider-Man shot webs? I like it. You can leave now.
You did say something.
What if Spider-Man like shot webs?
Yeah.
I'm imagining a panel at a Comic-Con with the two of them, and the first guy stands up and is just like, so how much did Hank actually write this? And they're just like, come on, we co-wrote it. Next question. And then the next guy stands up and he's just like, so did he really write it though?
Like 60-40 or
It's like 30 straight minutes of people just trying to get to the bottom of it.
Hank is the opposite of Joe Hill, though, when you think about it.
He's earned nothing. and he's completely cashing in on his
Didn't
relationship
change
to
his
his
name.
father. Yeah.
Hank Abrams in parentheses son of JJ.
That's how he signs
That's how
his name.
he
Yeah.
introduces himself.
I love that we're calling him Hank.
What is it? Henry?
His name isn't Hank.
I didn't know.
I don't
You
know what
could've
it
told
is,
me
but
it
it's
was
something.
whatever.
Who cares? That's the point. Fuck him.
Oh boy.
If there was just a straight DC just signed a 15-year-old to write a comic book, I bet that comic book would be fire.
And full of breasts.
Yeah, it would just be awesome. So I'm not shitting on 15-year-olds writing comic books. I'm shitting on famous 15-year-olds writing comic
Well,
books.
then 15-year-olds must be writing for Xenoscope because that's all their fucking books are.
Yeah.
Hey, you can be 15 at heart.
Plenty of people are.
Axe Cop was written by like a 5-year-old, so there you go. The world of comics is crazy when you think about it.
Success. Another one in the books.
This has been an issue of an episode.
I love that.
See you next week, hopefully.
This has been another episode of First Issue Club. We are a proud member of the Fountain City Frequency family of podcasts. Our music is provided by Primary Color Music. We are recorded in KCUR Studios. You can find us, rate us, friend, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email, and your favorite listening platforms at First Issue Club, FIRST. That was a tight 12 minutes.
Just re-listen to the Halloween episode.